progress in life. Find those little things. Sometimes we're so critical of ourselves, right? Sometimes we just feel like we're not doing enough. When in reality, we are doing way more than we actually know. Progress that has went unrecognized in our life. If you're not subscribed, let me know. Let me know why you haven't subscribed yet. Let me know. Welcome to Worthy Soul. And if this is not your first time, welcome back. My name is Danielle Lane. And thank you once again for joining. Like I said, if this is not your first time, and if this is your first time, thank you for joining. I'm making progress. Hopefully you've been making progress, but I know there's a lot of progress that has gone unrecognized in our life. It's gone unrecognized for many reasons, but I think one of the biggest reasons we have had trouble recognizing a lot of the progress that we've made in life is because we aren't recognizing our small wins. We're not recognizing the little progress that we make from time to time. Sometimes, because the progress that we want to make and the goals that we want to meet and the expectations that we have for ourselves are so grand and so big that it feels like if we're not making big strides to that goal or to meet those expectations, that the little progress we are making doesn't matter and it goes unrecognized. And when we do that, it just really makes it hard for us to keep going. It makes it hard for us to really reach that big goal in life because we feel like we're not making any progress to it. So, I've been challenging myself for the last couple of years, and I challenge you as well to find a little progress in life. Find those little things that's like, okay, if I would have made that step right here, it would be hard for me to make progress towards the next step that I need to make, the bigger goal that I'm trying to reach, or the bigger step of progress that I know that I need to reach so that I can reach my big goal. And like I said, that could be hard. That can be hard because sometimes we're so critical of ourselves, right? Sometimes we just feel like we're not doing enough. When in reality, we are doing way more than we actually know. Depending on our goals will depend on the adjustments that we have to make in our life. And we have to count those adjustments because they matter. Like they literally matter so that, like I said, we can be able to move forward in life. And so that we can really build up the endurance and the stamina that we need to reach that big goal. And once we get to that big goal, to maintain it and to keep reaching other goals in our life because we have the ability to reflect on the goals that we've already met, the progress that we've already made, and just remembering, counting that all progress is good progress. Big progress, little progress. As long as it's progress to get you to that goal, it's progress. Like it's progress, and we have to count that progress. Give ourselves the recognition that we deserve. Because when somebody else doesn't, we always have to be able to give ourselves the recognition that we need. The recognition, like I said, that we deserve. The recognition that we worked for. And remember that just because it's not coming from somebody else or just because it's not big progress that we're making, it doesn't mean that it doesn't matter. It all matters. Little progress, the big progress, it all matters. And we just have to really take time to sometimes, especially when we are in those ruts in life, right? Trying to reach that goal and we feel like, man, am I ever going to get there? Like, am I ever going to see some type of results? That's sometimes when we do, and a reminder that that's time that we need to step back, reflect, and say, okay, let me look at the adjustments that I've already made in my life or the things that I've already kind of mastered to reach my goal. Literally to reach my goal, because sometimes our goals literally require for us to rearrange certain things in our life. Sometimes it requires us to rearrange our schedule. And when we have to rearrange our schedule, that's a task in itself. And not only is it a task in itself to rearrange the schedule, but it's a task in itself to follow that new schedule. To do that new thing so that we can reach our goal, whatever it is that required for us to make those adjustments in our schedule. So count that. Like literally count that, because sometimes like sleeping, when some people want to get more done in their day, like me, what I'm trying to do, trying to get more done with my days, that kind of requires me to adjust my sleeping schedule. Like I have to wake up earlier. And right now, I'm getting better. I'm getting better. I'm not waking up earlier just yet, but I am going to sleep earlier. So that's putting me in a better position to wake up earlier and get more done with my day. So I'm definitely making progress towards reaching my goal of waking up earlier so that I can utilize more of my day earlier in the day to do things. So even though, like I said, even though I'm not waking up earlier yet, I'm going to sleep earlier, which is going to allow me to wake up earlier. I just, it's so hard right now. I'm not gonna lie, it's just so hard for me to wake up before. It's hard for me to wake up before 8 o'clock. That probably sounds so terrible for some. I know some people are probably like, you have a problem waking up before 8 o'clock. I have to get up at, some people getting up at like 6, 5 o'clock in the morning regularly, and I'm over here struggling to get up at 8. But I am making progress, like I said. And, because it's like sometimes a struggle for me to go to bed early. So I'm making progress. Even though I'm not at my goal yet, I'm definitely making progress, and I'm hopeful. And I do remind myself of that. Like when I get in the bed before a certain time and it's earlier than what I'm used to getting in the bed, I have to remind myself, like, girl, look at us. We in the bed. We ready to go to sleep. Even though, sometimes I'm tempted to get out the bed and do something else. But we're making progress, and that's all that matters, is that we're definitely making progress. And that same concept, like I said, has to be applied to all areas of life, especially when it's getting tough to make that progress or to maintain progress or to keep pushing forward towards the progress or goal that we're trying to reach. Take a look at your life and look at the little changes that you've made and remind yourself that that is progress. Because if you wouldn't have made those little changes, you wouldn't be one step closer to your goal. And the little changes literally amount to big changes, and they help support those big changes. So support yourself and give yourself the recognition and the understanding that you are making progress. You are making progress, and sometimes literally just setting that goal is making progress. Or the way that you went about setting that goal might be making progress, because some of us don't even really take the time to think about our goals. We're just like, oh, I need to do that. And we just try to do it, but we don't set a goal, or we don't take time to sit down to plan it out. And even sitting down to plan it out, that's literally progress, because that's going to help you reach your goal, because now you have something to look back at and say, okay, what do I need to do? What am I working towards? And when you do make that plan, and if you write it down, you can literally go back and look at those things that you have done already and say, okay, look, I am making progress. If I had 20 steps, guess what? Now I'm only 10 steps away. Or now I'm only sometimes 2 steps, but 4 is better than never starting. So it's just really giving ourselves the grace and the recognition that we need to be our best motivator, to be the person that we know we can rely on, and to make sure that we're making the progress that we need, but that we're encouraging ourselves in making that progress, so that, like I said, because it's tough. Making progress is tough. And also, when you're trying to make that progress, it's just like, it's tough. So we have to really, like I said, give ourselves that grace and try to find the little wins in things so that we can continue making progress. And even now, if we take a time to reflect on a lot of the little wins in our life, it can help motivate us to keep going, to reach that new goal, to reach that big goal, because we've seen everything that we've done. And recognize that little does not mean anything. It doesn't mean less than, because sometimes it's little goals that you need to meet to make the big goal. So they all are important. They all share the same weight. because without that little goal, you'll never, like I said, you would have never reached that big goal. Y'all, my words is twisted all the way. Super, super, super all the way twisted. But we gonna keep going. But yeah, like I said, we just really, like I said, want to give ourselves that grace, want to give ourselves that recognition, and be proud of ourselves. Literally be proud of ourselves for even taking that step. Because sometimes just taking that step is the hurdle that we needed to get over to reach our big goal. So like recognizing, like, if I wouldn't even start it, I would not be getting to my big goal. I wouldn't. And also know that there's always going to be things and goals to reach in life. So we have to find the little wins. We have to find the things that's going to keep us going, and that's going to allow us to really have the motivation that we need to say that I could do this. I can do this. I'm doing this, so I know that I can do this. Just doing this, literally that little goal, just doing it is enough to say I know that I could do it, or I know that I am making progress. Because, like, if you're anything like me, I just not do it sometimes, which is bad. It's so bad. But sometimes I will. I just be like, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. So even me just saying that I'm doing, or me being able to see that I'm doing it, is motivation to me sometimes to say, girl, because we know, we know that we could just sit here and not do it. So we're definitely making progress in the right direction. And it's only up from here. Like, it's only up from here. So, like, love yourself. Love yourself to see the little things in your life that, you know, is going to get you to those places in life that you want to be. And even with other people, right? Like, sometimes it's hard to see the little progress that people are making in reaching their goals, or making, if it's like a situation that y'all are working on, it's sometimes hard to see the little goals because we're so focused on reaching the big goal that we get frustrated in the fact that we're not reaching it fast enough. So then it makes it hard for us to give that person that we're working with grace and mercy that they need as well. And the more grace and mercy and patience and encouragement and motivation that we can provide whoever we're working with, regardless of if it's a relationship, at work, with coworkers, whatever, like, that grace and mercy, just to see the little things, could boost the whole situation and could really make a difference in if you do reach that big goal and make the big progress that you need to make to reach whatever expectations or goals that we have. And also remember, sometimes, we ain't gonna always get it right. We ain't always gonna reach that goal on the first time, but we have to recognize the little progress and the fact that we are working towards that goal. And that matters. That matters, that matters, that matters. And if we don't recognize that it matters, like I said, it makes our journey to reaching that goal, or that progress that are in progress, our end goal, our in progress, it makes it that much harder to reach it. It makes it that much harder for us to even want to reach it, right? Because sometimes when we feel like we're not making progress, we'd be like, well, what's the point? I'm never going to get there. But actually, you are getting there, because everything that you've done up until that point matters, and it's gotten you further along than what you were when you started. So we always want to remember, like I said, recognize the little wins, recognize them, because they matter and they hold just as much weight as the big wins. And when you're working on your journey in life, remember that you are worthy of the big wins. But if you don't recognize the little wins, it's going to be hard for you to really, really, really stay motivated and endure to the end to reach those big wins, to reach those big and grand expectations that we have for ourselves. And just love yourself, man. Love yourself. Give yourself the grace and mercy that you need. And give it to others. because we're all worthy of the grace and mercy that we need, because none of us are perfect, and some of us need extra steps to make it to our big goals. But just because we need extra steps does not mean that we're not making progress, and that progress matters. And if you're not subscribed, let me know. Let me know why you haven't subscribed yet. Let me know what progress you feel like I still need to make. And if you have subscribed, thank you. Don't forget to like, share, comment, follow on other social media down in my bio. And thank you again for joining. Thank you for being a part of this journey with me. And I just pray and hope that we continue to make progress. And we are kind to ourselves and recognize the little goals that we've met. Recognize the little progress that we're making, because it matters.